Welcome to Vintage US Coins. Today we are taking a deep and detailed journey into the history, design, background, and collector value of the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar. The 1973 half-dollar is part of one of the most emotionally powerful coin series in United States history. The Kennedy half-dollar was first introduced in 1964, shortly after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy in November 1963. The nation was in shock. Americans wanted a lasting tribute to their fallen president. The United States Mint responded quickly. Within months, the Kennedy half-dollar was designed, approved, and released into circulation. By the time we reached the year 1973, the coin had already become an established part of American currency. However, its journey from silver to clad composition, from heavy circulation to collector interest, makes this particular year an interesting chapter in the story. Let us begin with the historical context of 1973. The early 1970s were a period of major change in the United States. The country was experiencing economic pressure, inflation concerns, and the effects of global political tension. The Vietnam War was still influencing American society. The Watergate scandal was beginning to unfold. Confidence in leadership was being tested. In the middle of this changing landscape, everyday coins like the Kennedy half-dollar continued to circulate quietly. Coins do not speak loudly, but they witness history silently. The 1973 half-dollar is one of those silent witnesses. Now let us carefully examine the obverse of the coin. On the front, we see the left-facing portrait of President John F. Kennedy. The design was created by Gilroy Roberts, who served as chief engraver of the United States Mint. The portrait captures a calm yet strong expression. Kennedy's hair is detailed with fine lines. His profile is sharp and recognizable. Above his head appears the word liberty. This word is not simply decorative. It represents the foundational principle of the United States. Placing liberty above the image of a president symbolizes the idea that no leader stands above the nation's core values. Below the portrait is the date 1973. This small detail anchors the coin in a specific moment in history. The national motto "In God We Trust" appears on the obverse as well. This motto had become standard on United States coinage. Its presence reflects cultural and historical identity during a time when faith and national unity were frequently emphasized. Now let us turn to the reverse. The reverse of the 1973 half-dollar features the presidential seal. This design was created by Frank Gasparro. It is bold, detailed, and symbolic. At the center stands a heraldic eagle with wings spread wide. The eagle is a long-standing symbol of American strength and independence. In its right talon, the eagle holds an olive branch. In its left talon, it holds arrows. The olive branch represents peace. The arrows represent military strength. Together, they communicate balance. Above the eagle's head is a cluster of stars. These stars represent the states of the Union. Surrounding the design are the words United States of America and half-dollar. The edge of the coin is reeded. The reeded edge not only adds security against counterfeiting, but also gives the coin a distinctive feel. Now let us discuss the metal composition. When the Kennedy half-dollar was first introduced in 1964, it was composed of 90% silver. However, rising silver prices led to changes. From 1965 to 1970, the coin contained 40% silver. Starting in 1971, the coin transitioned to a copper-nickel clad composition over a pure copper core. The 1973 half-dollar is therefore a clad coin. It does not contain silver. Its outer layers are copper-nickel bonded to a copper center. This change made the coin more affordable to produce and more durable for circulation. Because it does not contain silver, the intrinsic metal value is minimal. However, collector interest depends on condition and rarity factors rather than metal content alone. Let us now talk about mint locations. In 1973, the Kennedy half-dollar was minted primarily in Philadelphia and Denver. Philadelphia coins from this year do not carry a mint mark. Denver coins carry a small D mint mark on the obverse. Located near the dates, Proof coins were also produced at the San Francisco Mint. These proof coins were specially struck for collectors. They feature mirror-like fields and frosted details. Proof coins from 1973 carry an S mint mark. Mintage numbers were high. Millions of coins were produced. Because of this, the 1973 half dollar is considered common in circulated grades. However, finding high-grade uncirculated examples with strong luster and minimal marks can be more challenging. Coins that remain in mint state condition are more desirable to collectors building complete date and mint mark sets. Interestingly, by the 1970s, the half dollar was no longer widely used in everyday transactions. Vending machines rarely accepted it. Cash registers were not always designed to hold it efficiently. As a result, many half dollars were saved rather than heavily circulated. This partially explains why uncirculated examples are still relatively accessible today. Let us now discuss grading and value. In circulated condition, the 1973 half dollar is typically worth face value. Heavy wear, scratches, and dull surfaces reduce collector interest. In mint state grades, value can increase depending on the level of preservation. Coins with strong mint luster, sharp details in Kennedy's hair, and crisp eagle feathers on the reverse are more desirable. Proof versions from San Francisco often command higher premiums, especially in deep cameo condition, where the contrast between frosted design and mirror fields is strong. Collectors should always avoid cleaning their coins. Cleaning can create hairline scratches and unnatural shine. This reduces value significantly. Proper storage is essential. Coins should be kept in protective holders or albums. Humidity should be avoided. Stable temperature helps preserve condition. Now let us consider the broader significance of the Kennedy half dollar series. President John F. Kennedy remains one of the most remembered American presidents. His leadership during the Cuban Missile Crisis, his vision for space exploration, and his message of public service left a lasting impact. The continued presence of his portrait on the half dollar reflects national memory. Each coin serves as a reminder of his legacy. The 1973 issue represents nearly a decade of tribute. It shows how the nation chose to honor its fallen leader not only with monuments but with everyday currency. For many collectors, building a complete Kennedy half dollar set is an achievable goal. The series spans from 1964 to the present day. Within that range are silver issues, clad issues, bicentennial designs, and special commemorative releases. The 1973 coin fits into the early clad era of the series. It marks the period when the coin fully transitioned away from precious metal content. Some collectors specialize in high-grade registry sets. Others collect by date and mint mark. Some focus on proof coins only. No matter the collecting style, the 1973 half dollar offers historical connection at an affordable level. Coins like this remind us that not every collectible must be rare or expensive to be meaningful. Sometimes value lies in the story behind the object. The early 1970s were years of economic uncertainty and social transformation. The Kennedy half dollar remained steady in design and symbolism during that time. It represented continuity in a changing world. When you hold a 1973 half dollar, you are holding more than a piece of metal. You are holding a fragment of American history. You are touching a coin that passed through banks, stores, and perhaps family collections. It may have been saved in a drawer. It may have been stored in a coin roll. It may have been kept as a small tribute to a beloved president. Collectors today continue to appreciate the Kennedy series for its historical depth and emotional significance. If you own a 1973 Kennedy half dollar, examine it carefully. Check for mint marks. Observe the condition. Look at the details in the hair and the eagle. Even small differences in preservation can affect collector appeal. As interest in vintage U.S. coins continues to grow, more collectors are rediscovering the Kennedy half dollar series. While earlier silver issues often attract more attention, clad-era coins like 1973 still hold importance in completing sets and understanding the full timeline of the series. The beauty of coin collecting lies in its accessibility. You do not need great wealth to begin. Sometimes all it takes is curiosity and appreciation for history. The 1973 half dollar stands as a bridge between the silver era and the modern era of American coinage. It reflects economic decisions, artistic design, and national memory all in one small circular form. At Vintage US Coins, we believe every coin tells a story. Some stories are dramatic, some are quiet, but all are worth discovering. If you enjoyed this deep exploration of the 1973 Kennedy half dollar, make sure to like this video. Subscribe to Vintage US Coins for more detailed coin history and collector insights. And share in the comments whether you have this coin in your collection. Thank you for watching.